Okay, so here it is. Coaching is a $400 or $300 service that can be given only to executives in companies. You cannot give coaching for $400 for employees because it would be more than their salary. Okay. However, the problem is that those who need the coaching are the employees. They don't know what to do. Executives have experience. So what we do, we take the employees and we coach them every day in 3 areas only: productivity, creativity, and adaptability to change. Let me explain to you why. Okay, every research in this world made by Harvard says that the level of productivity in American firms is 38%. What does it mean? That you have to pay for 3 people to do the work of 1. This is it. You can cut your costs if you can raise the level by 200%, right? Second thing is that most people in the corporate environment are non-creative, and they have to fight against competitors, a lot of problems, a lot of needed solutions. But those who are creative, they go to the startup industry, and the non-creative remain in the corporate environment. Now imagine that I can raise the productivity and creativity by 100%. Basically, you can cut off your employee costs, okay, and you have twice more solutions against your competitors, market problems, and so on and so on and so on. The last part is adaptability to change. And why this is important for companies. This is all based on research. It's not my research, right? It's Harvard and others. Why adaptability to change? Because companies are doing mergers and acquisitions, and they're selling parts of the company, and they buy startups, and there's change management every year, and the market is making changes, and the competition making changes. So change is crucial, and companies cannot make change. Human cannot change. So we train the brain in these 3 areas. You can see what happened in the coronavirus, that it was very hard for people to adapt new behaviors working, outside the office. So especially for managers to manage them. So our system is based on a very, condensed methodology. You get an email from me, you answer the email, I answer you the email. I never see you, I never talk to you. I'm clean understanding you. Only the first time we talked was 10 minutes, so I will remember your face and you will remember my face. That's it. All the rest is emails. Now, what we do with the emails, we send it now today, not to a technology because we don't have the technology yet, but we send it to an Excel form. And what we do is we do analysis, okay, of the behavior of that person. We analyze his fears, his needs, his wants, his talents. And what we do is systems analysis, or we call it personal operating system analysis. So now we can understand how his brain functions, okay, the functionalities of his brain. And then the moment we understand, it takes us 30 days to understand 20% of it. We can make slight interventions to make changes on how his brain functions. So it's very slight. So he can adapt them. So it's not like going through a trauma to make a change. He does not know that he's making change. And we measure the results on a weekly level. So we do this for $18 per session, which when the market is charging $400. Now it can be given to employees because it's less than $400 per month for daily coaching every day, okay? Everyday coaching. Now, results can be measured, and the team leader can get from us advice, which is half automated and half not automated. I will explain later, on how to manage each one of his employees, because we know about his employees more than he knows. We know his fears, his inner needs. We know his personality. We have more beta data than Amazon about the human. We go internally and we understand his brain function. The other thing is that we can do in this concept is like, let's say you have 100 salespeople, and let's say 20 of them are the best, the top 20. We can analyze how their brain is functioning and then adapt it into a methodology that will be described well, and we will retrain the brain of the rest of your salespeople, the 80 of them, so they will level almost to the same level, almost, not exactly the same level. So this is a service for companies. So the way we see it is quite simple. If I can have the technology in place, then we can train more coaches to work on that system. And why is that? Because the moment I take 50 years old people who left their jobs in the past, 10 years. A lot of people, 45, 50, they lose their jobs, not because they're not good, they're excellent. It's just the cost is too high, and people, it's a low cost to hire young people. Okay, so those guys, they lose jobs. They have the best data in the world, the best experience in the world to help companies. They've been there for 3 years in their job, right? So we want to take them as coaches in our system, train them how to use the system, and get the help of the AI to help them to coach that person, because all the data that's been aggregated on the system can be used by every coach. It means, like, if you have been a coach and you had a solution because you understand in finance, okay, and I had another one who understands in marketing, this data, because it's all typed, okay, is being organized in the system. So when I want to coach somebody, I'm looking for the right answer. It's like going on Google. You start to type and it gives you the rest of the article. So this will give the best practices. So now the machine and the intuition and the ability of the coach will work together to coach that person. We can coach one person per minute, or even faster. With the AI, it will be faster, less than 30 seconds. So today, I coach one person per minute, 60 people per hour. 60 people per hour times $18, basically, it's more than $1,000 per hour. So basically, I make more than 1,000 instead of making 400. So if I will pay the coach even $150 per hour, he will be totally happy because he lost his job. He does not have any job. He can work 1 hour or 2 hours per day. He will make $10,000 per month. He will be happy, right? So now we can help the employees in the companies to be more optimized. We can help those people who lost their jobs to have a job. And we have a huge database. The money that the company is making is also, it also can provide another service, which means if a company is hiring us, let's say 10,000 employees, okay, it's not a lot. Now we have 10,000 employees working, being coached. We take 10% of the money and we send it to our education company, kind of like it was your donation. So the company said, oh, we donated to the school systems around us. We donated. They did not donate. We basically transfer the money internally, but it's their donation. They can put their name, on the flag. Say, we donated, okay? And then for every 10,000 employees, 20,000 kids can go into our education system. We make kids geniuses. We make regular kids gifted, highly gifted. And so 20,000 kids, which might be their own kids, by the way, because it's usually schools around the area of the offices or the factory or whatever. So there's another. So the model is smart because then we go to schools and we say there's no budget needed. Exactly. Every school will take it because the product is good, they know it, and there's no budget issue here. So now for every 10,000 employees, 20,000 will be. So I'm connecting between the two companies, and I just need to grow faster. That's all.
Okay. So I'm just going to ask some quick questions because I'm videotaping this, and then I'm going to stop the video for Fred to ask a bunch of questions, if that's okay. And I'm going to get Fred to talk a little bit about his background. Offer, have you worked with a senior executive and helped them, I'm going to say, think exponentially, that you have testimonials and references for?
I believe I can get you some, yes. I've worked with a lot of executives.
And then have you worked with kids to help them think exponentially?
Absolutely. This is what I was doing in the past 30
awesome.
years.
And then for people who are new to this video or may or may not know this, can you talk just very briefly about some of your awards and achievements and things like that?
Look, in the first 20 years of my professional life, 20 to 40 years old, I was a music teacher. I trained more than 3,000 professional musicians. So like 300 of them are worldwide known as musicians in the rock idiom and the jazz idiom. So this is the first thing that I've done in the first 20 years. Then I wrote this methodology of how to create a gifted child for every field. And today we have thousands of kids in schools in the Czech Republic, in Israel. We have 20 after-school activity centers in the United States. We have licensed coaches. We have selling products online for parents. And we are going to get into schools after the coronavirus will stop. Okay, with budget, without budget. We are collaborating with the Tony Robbins group. And Tony is a very good friend of mine for many years. So, and we are going into right now entering India. We are entering 6 countries in Europe, and so this is what I know. So the first 20 years of my life, I was in the education field. And if you need any kind of paper, like testimonials of people, or I have plenty of them. I have like a whole file. I mean,
right, sure.
And then for 20 years, I worked for the startup industry and for big companies like Microsoft and HP with executive coaching, consulting, training. In the field of innovation with Disney, with the field of in the field of innovation and management strategies. Both. These are the elements. And because I understand where the technology world is, or the business world is, and because I understand education, I know how to close the gap between them. I know exactly what kids needs to know in 20 years, when most teachers, they don't understand it. Most systems, they don't understand. Oh, they want kids to have fun, to study some music, some art.
Yeah, exactly.
But they don't understand where the world will be to 2040. I've worked for companies who are doing, autonomous cars, and so I know exactly where the future will be. Okay, we are buying just research for $20,000 a year to understand what's going on. So this is 3 years ago. I even received kind of how do you call it? An honorary of some kind, in New York, the Tribeca Award for disruptive innovator of the year 2018 in the field of education. It's a nice award to get. It's an important award. Well, just to know, the other woman who received this award with me, she got a Nobel Prize a year before.
Wow.
I actually know about that award. My wife's a teacher, so.
Okay, so I received this award in 2018 for my work in education. And I have a vision and a mission in life. And basically, it's quite simple. I want to take care that 1 billion kids will be ready for 2040. I want to take care that 1 billion people will have that brain to adapt to new skills and be there and have a job. And if not, 1 billion people are going to lose jobs, and 1 billion kids will not be ready for the market. What does it mean when it happens? Something very simple. I can train my own kids. I have a child, he's 14 years old. He's non-gifted, and he's studying economics in Tel Aviv University, and he's 14 years old. However, if I will make my children totally gifted, my own children, and if I will leave them $10 million in their bank account for each one of them, I have not solved the issue. I'll tell you why. Because 2 billion people in poverty means so much crime in this world that my kids will have to live in that fucked up world. I'm sorry for using the F word. Yep. I'm sorry, but it's going to be like that. I know it. So it's my mission to move as fast as possible to save as many countries as possible, as many parents and children. And also we have a concept with Timor, how to help the startup industry to stop to lose money and investors stop to lose money. So even we are working on that part. So in 2040, every investment will become a startup that will have a solution for the world, and money will not be lost. So this is the total vision of the whole story of what I see in this world.
Fred, could you hear his core values?
Man, and yeah, I do. And I can't wait to kind of jump in here because this is so.
Give me one more second before I stop the recording. Offer, is there anything else we need to say? You want to say?
No. I just want the right people around me to move fast. I don't want to be the hero. I want to service.
Sure. Okay.
I don't want to be a billionaire, but I want this organization to become a $1 billion company in order to be able to serve the world.
Okay, good.
I don't want donations from anyone.
Thank you. Offer, what are the 5 questions people ask you in regards to either coaching by measurement or exponential thinking for themselves, their companies, or their kids?
First of all, the basic problem they have, they don't understand what micro-coaching means.
Okay.
Because you have to educate the market. They know coaching is meeting with a person. Also, the second part is that coaching doesn't work well around the world.
Okay.
There's more failure in coaching because it's not measurable.
Yeah.
And that's why we created a measurable system. So it's not based on your intuition as a coach or the beautiful conversation you're going to have with the person. It's not. It's about a methodology that can enhance the brain. So for people, it's hard to understand in the beginning. But when I give them the test to test it for 2 weeks, they understand immediately what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I know companies are in pain, and I hear the same pain again and again: productivity, creativity, adaptability to change. I hear it all the time, besides of research. And I think the most common question that I have today, talking to people, so if I'll give you 1,000 people today, can you coach them? And I'm saying, no, I don't have the coaches and I don't have the technology. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. It's easy to find the coaches and train them. So many people lose jobs and so many of them are wonderful people. That will be easy to start to train. I need technology, and I need a good marketing guy, or I would say business developer guy, that will go to companies and start to close the deals. I mean, I can close some of the deals because I'm known in some of those companies. But just to understand, if you close a deal, let's say, with 2 or 3 companies like Microsoft, Amazon, and Apple, and you have 100,000 employees in the system, going through the coaching system, you're talking about a $400 million per year company, which is the value of a company of $2 million. That's before we take 200,000 kids out there or more and start to coach them for free.
So going back to what are the top 5 questions people ask you? I understand they don't understand.
What is micro coaching? How does it work when it comes to by email? They don't understand it.
Yeah.
And how would we measure the results? And the last question is how can you scale up? How can you give us the opportunity now, which I cannot do.
Got it. Okay, good. I understand that. So if I change the story, if I tell your story in a very different way, the questions that I would get back would be very different. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just forget that you do micro coaching. Let's just forget that for 1 minute. Go with me on this for a second. And let's just forget that there's the AI involved, forget that. And coaching by measurement, forget that. Yeah. What will be the outcomes that you have seen your coaching provides beyond creative thinking and adaptability?
Brilliant people with high level of productivity.
So I take your network, your workforce, and I create brilliant people with high level of productivity.
Yes.
Through a proprietary program.
It's very hard to find brilliant people to work for the corporate environment.
That's right.
And it's very hard to make them productive.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it has to do with the subconscious. It has nothing to do with the environment or how you behave and how much money you pay them.
Got it. So I'm just going to stop this for people watching this. Thank you so much for your time.